Everybody wants to go to heaven, but no one wants to die. Let me ask you a question. Are you afraid of death? Does the thought of dying frighten you? Why does the thought of death or dying frighten you? Because of the unknown. I like that. Because of the unknown. Because you think that when a person dies, you walk through this cold, dark tunnel to somewhere you don't know where. So, this is the scary part of the unknown. So later, we will figure out how to address this issue of unknown that makes us scared. Because really, fear comes from ignorance. Fear comes from lack of knowledge. Fear comes from non-awareness. Once we are aware, once we know, then we are no longer fearful. Who's alive today? Well, we are all alive, therefore we will die. Dead people cannot die. So we are all alive, therefore we will die. That is the simplest, most obvious truth of existence. Is because you are alive, you will die. Yet very few of us really come to terms with the word death. And death marks the moment in our life where our physical body stops to operate or to survive. So you breathe your last breath, your heart stops, your cognitive brain stops. You stop thinking, you stop dreaming, and your vital organs, they stop. Dying is a natural process that all of us go through. The strange thing about dying is that no matter how rich we are, how powerful we are, how influential we are, what type of blood we have inside us, one day this will happen. What is the point of living then if we know that we are going to die? Meaningless, meaningless, says the teacher. Utterly meaningless. Everything is meaningless. This is actually written, they say, by the richest and wisest man of his time, which was King Solomon. Surely the fate of human beings is like that of the animals. The same fate awaits all of us. As one dies, so dies the other. All have the same breath. Humans have no advantage over animals. Everything is meaningless. All go to the same place. All come from dust, and thus all return. What is the purpose of life anyway? Why are we born into a world only to await death? And why did God create this world so that it will come to an end? Look at this beautiful scene here. Look at this beautiful scene. All was beauty and splendor at creation. In Job 38:7, the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy at creation. When God laid the foundation, when He crafted the design of the universe, when He put the stars up into the sky, when He designed the peacock feathers, the angels were all there shouting for joy. Yet, like what Peter said, something happened at creation. That's why we are in this miserable world today. That's why man died. And to investigate the cause of death of humankind, we need to now go back to the cause of life of humans. Why do you think God created man? When I see the stars and the works of your hands, the moon, the stars, I ask myself, what is man that you're mindful of him? Or the Son of Man that you care for him? You made him a little lower than the angels, and you crown him with glory and honor. You made him ruler of the works of your hands. Purpose of man. That's why man and woman was made in God's image. Not only in looks, but in personality, in characteristics, in attitudes, in mindset. The first plan of God for mankind was an amazing one. An amazing one. How did we lose that status? If Eve had sinned and Adam hadn't sinned, do you think we would be where we are today? So did Adam cause the death of mankind? Through one man, Adam, sin entered the world, and death through sin. And thus death spread to all men because all sinned. But who was the instigator? But why would a talking snake do that? Deceive humankind? Because death is the reversal of creation. Everything that God created, the serpent wanted to reverse. So God created this beautiful world, but the serpent wanted to reverse everything by causing death to God's creation. So who is this serpent? We really do not know who is the serpent in Genesis. Other parts of the Bible, you will notice that especially in the Old Old Testament, the references to Satan is not very much, only 17 verses. The great dragon was hurled, the original serpent, the one called devil and Satan, who was misleading the entire inhabited earth. He was hurled down to the earth, and the angels were hurled down with him. By the way, Satan means adversary, enemy. So if this guy is cast down to the earth, where is he from? Heaven. So it's a homegrown adversary. You were in Eden. Was in the Garden of Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone you can think of, the carnelian, the chrysolite, the emerald, the topaz, these are all the gems that you will find in the New Jerusalem. So he was high flyer in heaven. This guy, he was high flyer. What's his name? Good. This class dare not say the name Lucifer because they know it's not Lucifer. Because Lucifer is only the Latin word that only can be found in KJV, King James Version. He was called the star of the morning star, Hallel. In fact, Jesus is also the star of the morning. In the book of Revelation, Jesus also has the same term. He was the anointed cherub. He was the angel, the cherub anointed. He was on the holy mountain of God. You can read this, Ezekiel 28. But Ezekiel 28 is actually a very indirect way of describing the devil or Satan. He walked in the Garden of Eden. And what happened to him? He was totally perfect in his ways until you were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. And he was cast down. Have you fallen from heaven, O star of the morning, son of the dawn? You have been cut down to the earth, you and your angels. So the rebellion in heaven was cut short. And Satan, the devil, and 1/3 of his angels were cast down to where? To earth. And this was the reason why. What did he want to do? I will be like the Most High. I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of congregation on the further side of the north. I will ascend above the clouds. I will. What is that? I syndrome, pride. I can be better than you. I can be God. Why should I be second or third? When I should be God. So imagine for a moment, he was there as an angel at creation. At creation. He probably took part in it. And now God is going to create humankind in God's image. If he had this in mind, would he be happy? Definitely he would want to do something. So you can actually think about it. Actually, rebellion could have started and escalated at creation. So he was thrown out. So now do you understand the reason why he deceived Eve? It is a reversal of everything that God had created. Going back to where he wants it to be. I want to be like God. What do we do now that the devil is down here on this earth and death is part of our life? Some people ask the question, why didn't God destroy Satan? Want to give him a chance? All right. Everybody will be afraid of God. Yes. Love. Kit Ma says God still loves Satan. He wants to use him to test us. Wow. Freedom of choice. Cindy Saw, thank you very much. Is a free will. God has given us that freedom of choice as well in our decisions, whether or not which direction we want to walk. If God destroys Satan, the devil will use it as an excuse that God is cruel and not a God who forgives. Thank you, Priscilla. So very good. Thank you very much for all the points. So the fact remains that death will happen to us. Evil is on this earth. So what should we do? And how do we handle it? Will God destroy everything at the end of the day? But when Jesus was on this earth, he told the parable of the wheat and the tares. In our language, we call it the wheat and the weeds, right? Wheat and the weeds, the lalang. The kingdom of heaven is compared to a man who sowed good seeds. One day when the man, his workers were sleeping, his enemy came and sowed weeds among the wheat. And then he went away. So when these workers saw all that, the workers asked the farmer, the boss, right? Asked the farmer, should we pull out all the tares, the lalang? Should we pull it out or not? You know what the farmer said? Yes, he says, let both grow together until the harvest. Then I will come and I will gather the lalang first, tie them up, burn them, and store the wheat in the barn. Whether we like it or not, in this world, as what Jesus has said in the parable, is evil and good will be there. Mission for us is to decide whether we are the wheat or whether we are the tares. The ones, the tares, were going to be picked up and they're going to be burnt. But the wheat is the one that's going to go into the barn.